Kathmandu isn't the most expensive city in the world, but it is an expensive city for we Nepalese and by Nepali standards. Average cost of living in Kathmandu for the longest time has been around $200 every single month. I spent $100 on my rent and remaining $100 on my food, cocaine. For the context, I am a 27-year-old and I live alone in a 1 BHK apartment in the outskirts of Kathmandu Valley. I like to work alone, free from distraction, because as a knowledge worker, distraction is your biggest enemy and deep work is your biggest friend. And my apartment isn't fancy by any means. It's plain, it's simple. I like it that way. I'm a minimalist wannabe, although I have a lot of stuff. And I wish I had a wall closet sometime. I usually don't go overboard of $200 mark, but when I do, it's highly likely that I'm going to buy a gear that month. February 2018, iPhone 8 Plus. April, DJI Mavic Air. November, Canon 80D. October 2019, Sony A7 III. July 2021, Apple M1 MacBook Pro and a Sony 24mm G Master Prime and a bunch of accessories. So there you go. Last month I crossed $4,000 mark and it did bring my finances to its knees. But do you know what's the worst part of spending money? You have to track it all down on an Excel sheet like an adult. Now this part of adulting is what I haven't still gotten used to. I've tried it many times. I had headaches and I have failed every single time. So I have sort of devised a lazier method that works for me, and that is I don't track my expenses at all. So here's what I do. I have a savings account or a salary account where all my money comes in and I don't spend it from that account. I have a dedicated spending account, and if you don't have one, I think it's probably a very right time to make a dedicated spending account where you put your monthly budget into that and do all your expenses from that particular account. The thing about having this kind of spending account is you put a psychological or mental limit to your account spending, and you see and realize where your expenses have been going, and if you go overboard, it's time to do that adulting part of going down into Excel sheet and tracking your expenses and seeing where things went wrong. And in a good month you don't go over that spending budget and you have some amount left, and that's great. You can now repeat the cycle again and again, and in due course of time you have a good amount saved up in your savings account, and that's when things start to get a little bit dangerous.
The new Rugrats Edition Gateway Astro PC. Wow. It's $899.
You are now tempted to spend it on something nice. And I went ahead and bought my very first M1 MacBook Pro. Wow. It's good, it's great, but few days later I saw this ad on Hamra Bazaar, which is like our local Craigslist. And I saw this ad of Sony 24mm G Master Prime, and the thing about this lens is, forget about buying this in Nepali market. Even in abroad, this lens was set on pre-order for months. So when I saw this in my local market, I was very tempted to buy this one. And it has happened to me that when I wait for something to buy on Hamra Bazaar, if I wait for say a week or a month, by the time I call for that thing, it's already sold out. So I did not want to lose this particular lens. I gave into my temptation and I bought this lens. While I am not super proud of giving into temptations like that, I'm still super proud of having this 24mm G Master Prime. So when I was categorizing my expenses into one-time expenses and my recurring expenses, I came to find out that my recurring expenses, which is actually my true cost of living for the last month, is just around $200. So if you are a native and you live somewhat of a lifestyle like mine, $200 is your average cost of living here in Kathmandu. But if you are a foreigner and watching this for research related purposes, or maybe you are planning to come in Kathmandu, I would like to redirect you to nomadlist.com. I don't have any sort of affiliations It's just that that particular site has plethora of information on many different cities all across the world. And when I went there and I checked for the average cost of living for a local, it came out to be $218, which is very, very close to my personal cost of living. So I think based on that information, it's safe to say that the other information on that site are also pretty much correct and accurate. And a lot of people share their data anonymously, I think, and I think that's how they collect so many data points across so many different cities all across the world. And that's it. I hope this was fun. I don't usually make these kind of finance related videos, but anything for that clickbait, right? Just wanted to leave you with some small update regarding the channel. I am working on the part 3 of the Annapurna circuit trek, and hopefully that will be released by next week. Otherwise, I'll have to do another clickbaity video once again. I hope you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.